the Nyx would definitely be alone. But with the Ursa, you actually have someone that can follow through. Like the Nyx Ursa plus Darkseer down the line. It definitely can work. You know, some TB illusions as well from the Darkseer. Like, I honestly am a big Dire draft enjoyer.
Let's see how this is all going to pan out. Yakult's brothers, they're all sitting behind the tower. They do not want to get ganked. They're going to smoke themselves now. Of course, Curtain Gaming has already gotten up their own vision. And they go, PP breaks the smoke onto Fly. So that smoke from Yakult doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere. What can you do?
Yeah, can they counterplay this though? Probably unlikely. Like level 1 fight is not really strong on Dire. Like you've got Nyx, you've got Iron Shells that you could use here, I guess, but let's see.
It's gonna poke at each other. There's gonna be the 2-hero Arcane Curse. They go forward. They will be able to pick up the rune. Fly also falling really low. But so are Hara and Nevermind. They need to get out of here. Baboka, 7 seconds until he has access to the Fade Balls again, but they might not even need it. Nevermind. One more hit will kill him. They find him through the trees. Ollie goes the wrong direction. He gets out juked. Darkseer will stay alive as a result. Hara, though, I don't think he'll be so lucky.
Yeah, he's a goner. Not as bad as it could have been. I feel like there was a possibility that both of them die. Like Curtain Gaming, they kind of went in and out. They couldn't really they weren't really committing. Darkseer might be dead.
No way. Fly chases him down raw with no boots, no wind lace, no meta, no nothing. He just ran down a Darkseer and killed him heads up.
He lost all the last hits though. He got one last hit. Well, actually two, never mind. It's not that terrible. So yeah, definitely worth it. Chasing him down, killing him off. The Darkseer had no regen and he was left on 5% HP. This bot lane, Darkseer is one of those heroes that activates Nyx and somehow manages to make Nyx look like a decent laning hero, but when it starts this poorly, yeah, he might even not be able to do that. Top lane, like we're seeing Enigma just denying a lot. You're playing into all the Eidolons with deny and versus Fade Bolt. It's a super annoying lane.
Yeah, if I'm the Ursa player here, poor Summer. I don't want to be in his position at the moment, but he's got to have to deal with it. We'll see how he fares later on. You shouldn't be dying, but it's still going to be difficult to find your farm. And then, of course, mid lane, Death Prophet, a hero we've been seeing come back in more into the mix. You know, this is actually the classic Chinese mid lane hero. So if she's in the mix, I'm expecting a lot of these Chinese mids to start picking her up more and more.
Yeah, your DPs, your DKs, you know, like this is what you expect from the region. You know, Curtain Gaming, they're sure the game did not start off in a great way, but the lanes so far are not terrible. Like they managed to skip a little bit, get some waves under the tier 2 tower. Bot lane, mid lane DP that you just mentioned is doing pretty damn well. 15-1 versus 9-1. As expected though, right? Like this is a hard lane for Pango.
Very tough lane. I mean, what do you do against Spirit Siphon, man? Not really much, especially because it doesn't draw aggro, so she can just run you down. Or nothing you can do about it. But still, yeah. Emo will try his best to just get some experience from this lane, even if he doesn't get the most CS.
It comes down to Swashbuckle, right? Like you have to keep that one as your saving grace. It's like when you were playing versus all of these Siphon heroes, Razors, DPs. 10-1 charges, he should be fine.
He'll be fine, but he's definitely not happy with how things are going right now. Barely able to approach the lane. Just getting completely shut out at the moment by the Terrorblade.
Kale. Do you like Kale, by the way? Are you a Kale enjoyer?
I'm fine with it, but it has to be like very minute amounts, you know? If it's overpowering, too much Kale, I'm like, no. But if it's just there for a little hint of flavor, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, there's no one that likes Kale too much. I feel like.
No person on earth is like starting the day being like, give me a stick of kale, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah. No, we had some kale dish here that let me just double. Yeah, we have some kale dish here that is mostly kale actually, and when I come back home from school and I see that's waiting for me, I'm like, get me out. As a kid,
Like, I'd rather go back to school.
basically, yeah. Give me one of those square school pizzas. Rather have that.
I remember those square pizzas. Was a treat back in the day, I guess. So we are now back in the game. So far, these lanes do seem overall to be... bottom is a bit of a disaster. Darkseer is getting nothing. Mid lane being won out by the Death Prophet, and top being dominated by the Enigma. So more or less even across the board. Doesn't seem like anybody's got a decisive lead just yet.
Fly actually might even fall here.
Oh. He gets vacuumed back. They've got Iron Shell around him. He's gonna get run down. Horror. Making sure that the Iron Shell connects. So the first kill going the way of Nevermind. Doesn't seem like Horror wants to keep the pursuit going.
Very
That's
nicely.
good stuff.
Top lane.
Hold on, there's more aggression happening. Baboka, very nice toss back, but there is Earthshock available and a Blood Grenade. Unfortunately, though, Summer cannot keep up the aggression because he knows Old 11 has the Malefice done. No way to keep the chase going onto Baboka.
Yeah, they're gaming. They're gamers that are gaming right now. They're playing well. Nice little catch up on the Darkseer to get level 3, and then he is able to actually kill the TB with Nyx. They're going on Fly again, even through the meta. Yeah, probably not the best option.
I was about to say, meta makes this a very different calculation. And Horror realizes quite soon that, yeah, maybe we don't want the smoke. But now meta's going to be down. So I wouldn't be too surprised if you see a twin gate rotation from the Shadow Shaman once he hits level 3 as well.
Yeah, maybe some TP from the Nyx. He went all the way back to base. Yeah, he's got those booties as well now on the little bugs, so he's much faster to rotate. We'll see how much he can do. Like Nyx is us, and of course has been reworked a little bit.
My goodness, this mid lane matchup is... He's starting to get owned right now, Emo. Massive disparity in the CS here. He's gonna get zoned back, needs to swashbuckle out, but Horror dropping down an Observer Ward, coming in behind him. Ollie, though, he's on it. He knows what's up. And they're just gonna jump in with the Ghost. In fact, they're going for this one. Horror gonna find the stun. Can they reach him with the Shackle? They get the Hex. Shackles are out. That's gonna be a dead Pangolier. Emo goes down. Ollie cannot save him. And with the Siege Wagon pushing in on the tower, they clip it. They're gonna try and take it. In the meantime, though, Summer getting dove in the top lane by Old 11 and Baboka. Will they be able to get him before he takes the twin gates? He's actually just gonna go straight onto Baboka, hoping to find that kill, but Baboka pops a magic wand, and he's almost able to put him into mortal territory, but Summer is able to rush himself away. He will stay living. The tier 1 tower mid, though, might not be so lucky. It doesn't die just yet, but it is gonna be in deny range. Horror doesn't get brought down by Emo, and Ollie unable to deny the tier 1 tower. They end up getting the tower kill. They still keep the Ursa alive. So Curtain Gaming are starting to game here, my friend, in game 1.
Absolutely. Pretty cool plays in general. Like Emo, I think this is the focal point of Yakult's Bros draft. Like, he needs to do well because the 4 other heroes, they don't have a front line. Like, you can have some Crimson Drums, I guess, on Enigma maybe, but besides that, like, Pango actually needs to be the frontliner, and right now, like, he can't frontline anything. He's not even level 6. He has to catch up. Meanwhile, on the other side, we talked about these heroes running in, the fact that you have Nyx and the Surge. On top of that, we won't be seeing a Vanguard Darkseer. Instead, what we are seeing is a Helm of Dominator Darkseer, so they want to apply even more pressure. It's kind of cool how they're playing and itemizing. Yeah, DP with the Yules. I feel like Kale is not only on the gamer side, maybe it's on the caster side as well. If I'm Kalaying or Snare is, I'm not sure. One or the other. But in any case, the game will continue and we shall see maybe an aggression on bot lane because Hara is nearby. It's a level 3 Iron Shell. Terrorblade is not 6 yet. He's gonna get it after this creep though.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, this kill just becomes much harder. Unless you know for a fact that he has no Sunder. I feel like going for him is dangerous. Right? On the TB, maybe one extra hero could make a difference.
Well, let's see. Hara is still sticking around the area. Doesn't have the Iron Shell on top of him though. And I don't think the Death Prophet wants to come down here, although they have rotated in the Shadow Shaman. So we'll see if they can get anybody. Hara gets some vision out onto Ollie. The Iron Shells are there, but not a clean route of initiation just yet. I don't think they're going to get anything out of this.
Yeah, for now they will not. They need maybe the Dominator. Darkseer has, at the moment at least, very low mana, but it's Darkseer. Keep in mind, the moment he hits that level 6, he's gonna get like half of his mana back as well.
They are going to rotate top to try and kill off this Ursa. Summer doesn't have level 6 just yet. If he gets caught here, it'd be in an awkward position, but with the phase boots, he does manage to run away in time. He realized something was spooky, nobody was showing on the map. That is the perfect time to get out of dodge.
Yeah, meanwhile, DP just takes the rune and insta-moves bottom. He's not going to find anyone, of course. He sees the TB on top lane, so maybe this is just pop Exo and take the tier 1 for tier 1. Yep.
Nice and simple.
Yep.
Okay. Tier 1 tower claimed in the bottom lane, tier 1 tower claimed top. Both supports, or both offlaners building relatively similar items, but Enigma, at the moment, doing a little bit better, does have his drums complete. I don't think you want to do anything with this just yet. I still think he'll be very happy to get to the full Helm of the Overlord without being interrupted. Just make more space, shove in this wave, decrease the opportunity for Ursa to farm these top camps.
Yeah, of course. It would be nice if they allowed you to, but now it's... I feel like on Darkseer and Nyx to get this Nyx to level 6 quickly enough. Because you kinda can, you just give him Iron Shell and he goes and farms creep camps. The way he's doing right now, he doesn't even have to take aggro, which is kinda dumb, but it is what it is.
This Darkseer right now is level 6. Do not have the Wall of Replica up just yet, but it's holding the skill point. Gonna have a smoke actually from the Terrorblade and the Rubik. Where are these two headed? What do they want to accomplish here?
They want to win back their jungle. Like when you look at the Radiant side of the map, it's completely infested, right? Like you don't have any control. But with the Sunder, maybe.
Oh, they get the Sunder out onto Nevermind. That's why Fly was rolling with such low HP. Emo finishes him off with the Swashbuckle. Gotta love my mid laner stealing all my hard work, but nonetheless, perfect kill to pick up there. And now Old 11 boy might be left a little bit isolated. Now that they know that there's 4 heroes elsewhere, Old 11 all alone, and he should end up dead. TP getting the kill. Are they actually gonna kill the Shadow Shaman with these Eidolons? They're chasing, but they have lost the vision right now.
Fast.
They get him again. There's the damage, and they find the kill.
The casual 370 movement speed on the Eidolons. Like, you're not getting away as Shadow Shaman. Especially when the Tranquils are broken, right? Like, you just don't have the movement speed. Like, that Prophet with Windlace and Power Threads has 360-ish. Meanwhile, Eidolons just... yeah. They don't look that fast. They look like little derps that shouldn't be moving that fast, but okay.
Well, allowed Old 11 to recover some of the gold he lost out on there. As just gonna shove in this wave with the help of the trusty Rubik. Making sure that it's all gone. Was a fairly big wave, so this was quite decent farm heading in their direction.
It's like the levels are really important. On position 4s, I feel like now you get Rubik with his spell steal, and on the other side, of course, Nyx Assassin will be hitting his 6 now as well.
Of course, our carries are still relatively far from having their items. Ursa still wants his Battle Fury. Terrorblade, who's currently being stalked, is en route towards finishing his Yasha. He is very, very happy that he left exactly at the moment that he did. And he's playing so safe. He doesn't want to reveal too much right now. I don't think they'll be able to kill him. In the meantime, though, a fight's going to happen in the middle of the river as Emo activates the Rolling Thunder, but very quickly realizes that maybe I don't actually want to be right here. An AD rune Death Prophet right next to a Shadow Shaman, that's a recipe for disaster. But on the bright side, he has managed to draw out the Exorcism. Exorcism in exchange for Rolling Thunder. That's a win in my books for Emo.
For sure. Unless they can accomplish something with the Exo, which is really not possible anymore. Maybe pressure the map a little bit, but you cannot take any big objectives, so...
Ooh. Hara almost found the Impale. If that Impale connects with the AD rune, maybe Emo dies, but now Emo might be in some danger. Global Silence will be there. Can they kill off this Death Prophet? He's being brought closer towards the tier 2 tower with the Stolen Vacuum. That will enable them to find the kill. Shout out to Boka. Stolen Vacuum, Stolen Crypt Swarm gives them enough damage. And now maybe they get a tier 1 tower of their own.
Yeah, this is a pretty hard committal from DP. I feel like he just felt, I used my Exo, I have the DD, I want to do something with it, and he got punished for it. Very nicely done by Yakult's bros, like planting a nice little ward under the tier 2 tower as well. The sentry, I mean, preventing Nyx Assassin from wrapping behind. And so the first move from Hara wasn't really that impactful, or impactful at all, I should say.
Hara still running around looking for his first kill. He's gonna scout out this silencer here, and they should be able to get this one without too much difficulty.
Yep.
Nicely done.
They got the silencer. It's a position 5 silencer. He's just trying to move on the map and put down some sentries to prevent the exact thing from happening to his teammates. So if someone had to die, if you're a Yakult, you're probably happy that it was the silencer that did.
Never mind. Just walking around with his Sato Tormentor, making sure that he's constantly in an aggressive part of the map, farming away. Wants to get towards those Guardian Greaves. The GG boots in this game against the silencer feel super sick. Once he gets to that, it's going to make quite a big difference for the game.
I feel like I've been playing a lot of Darks here, but GG boots are, or have been at least, the item that I've bought the least recently. It's always, when I say recently, I mean before this last patch. Maybe I should start buying them some more. Because it just felt so nice going for Vanguards, going for a Halberd, then you get yourself some nice pipe. But when you look at this game, what's the pipe for? A Rubik, and that's it, right? Like, it's really not that great of an item for this game.
I'm gonna see Hara getting some vision middle, but they know where he's at. Scout him out a little bit, hit him with that Arcane Curse. Just to let him know, bro, this is our block, this is our hood. Maybe you should play somewhere else.
Yeah, you can see Fly, they might even try to go on him. With Nyx being behind, and with the lane pushing in, I feel like if the Croaker gets on top of the TB, they might try to kill him.
At the same time, we do have a smoke from Pango and the Silencer. They're heading to the top side of the map while they're going to attempt bottom, but they get to the top first. They find Summer, they get him with the Black Hole, and that should lead to a dead bear. Even though he popped the Enrage, it's not going to be enough. Having some of his life drained away, and now though they make the initiation once they realize everybody is top, but they don't have the damage. Fly gets off the Sunder, and now with the Rolling Thunder of Emo, he's coming in hot and fast, looking for some quick revenge. They've already brought down Hara. They've caught up now to the dogs here. At the same time, now that PP has shown up with his Exorcism on the backline, he's looking towards Fly, and he's gonna get him. These fights are so disjointed at the moment, but in the aggregate, they still find the kill on the Terrorblade to avenge the death of their Ursa on top.
Yeah, with the Serpent Ward, this might be a tier 2 as well. Nice little... I feel like this was almost a disaster for Curtain Gaming because the initial go on the Terrorblade felt so forced. That felt like, okay, our Terrorblade just died, we need to make something happen on the other side of the map. They go for it. It wasn't a perfect go, like the tower was hitting them, like they couldn't really dive. There was only one creep under the tower to tank it, and they just didn't get the control as well against the TB, so... Overall, DP rotation is basically what saved the day.
Well, we're gonna get the classic. Oh, I miss these days. You see, now this takes me back, listen. One team taking, Radiant team taking Roshan while Dire team takes bottom tier 2. Oh,
good old yeah.
They scan it out. They know what's happening, but there's not really too much they can do to stop this. So just take the trade, figure out what you're gonna do thereafter, especially because they don't have exorcism ghosts. That's the one major drawback with their lineup. Whenever the ghosts are down, Yakult's brothers just have a massive opening to play into.
Yep. What do they need? They need a blink on Ursa at least, right? Like that's one thing that might help you take down the Terrorblade or at least take a team fight. Besides that, I feel like you're happy with just creep skipping and getting some pickoffs. Their utility is fine, don't get me wrong. Like you've got Greaves now on Darkseer completed, but versus the Aegis, probably better to just find some small pickoffs here and there with the Nyx Assassin.
We're also slowly getting to the point where this Ursa's presence can start to be felt. It's not that far away from picking up his Blink Dagger. Still wants BKB thereafter, but the game is trending in the right direction for him. Ollie, he finds himself in an awkward position. He did throw out the dust, so they did find where this Nyx Assassin is at. Can they kill him before Silencer dies? Yes, they can. It does cost 3 ultimates though, so if I'm Nyx Assassin, I'm probably still counting that as a win right now.
Yeah, not too terrible, right? Like you buy some time for your teammates. Maybe a fight is possible now around Exo, perhaps going for the tier 1 top. Still have to be careful not to get black-holed, but yeah, like you said, I feel like his job is done. It's also funny why he got dusted. He didn't get dusted because of his playstyle, but because of Nevermind's. Quick little pick off mid. They did use the ward though.
Yeah, but they're all porting to the top side of the map. They want to keep this going. Hara's leading the charge with his Blink Dagger. Okay, but he doesn't want to go down the hill. Don't let this one go.
Yeah, they have 2 blinks now. They have one on Ursa and another one on the Nyx Assassin, of course.
So 20 minutes in, we still have very little in between here. Well, what would you say the game state is at the moment? Like, who's happy with how things are unfolding?
I feel like it's a very even game right now. Maybe you're a bit happier if you're Curtain Gaming. Like, even though you're playing into Aegis and stuff, I feel like if the game was executed to perfection, they would have maybe a 55 advantage from my perspective. Mid lane.
Nagobi going on to PP here. The Exorcism will come out of this Death Prophet. Emo making the big roll around. Doesn't want to keep going on the DP. Goes on the backline. Looking for Nevermind and Hara, but they're both still alive. Now, though, Terrorblade could be in some danger. He gets forced back away from the wall as we get a big black hole connecting on the 2. Nevermind and Hara taken out of this fight right now. Yakult's brothers, they find a Sunder for Fly, keeping this Terrorblade in tip-top shape. And they just demolished that fight.
Absolutely, and honest, you know what? That fight started off well for them. That's the biggest issue that I'm seeing here. Like, the Rolling Thunder completely missed. They used meta, and that Prophet could have possibly just ran away without them even fighting, but they decided to actually take that fight. They didn't manage to get on top of the Terrorblade with all their heroes. I think that's one of the issues. Like, they went on the TV, but not really. And also the black hole is way too good, considering Enigma doesn't have a blink or anything. Like, the black hole was too impactful.
Oh, now they also end up losing a tower. This map is shrinking a little bit. Ursa trying to solo the Tormentor here. Even if he gets it, I'm not sure he gets out alive. He's trying to leave. Oh no, he's forced to blink to the south side. Emo knows where he's at, trying to chase him. He found him with a swashbuckle. Not enough damage. Close call. If the swashbuckle or the shield crash had connected, we'd be looking at a dead Ursa. But they still at least get the Tormentor for themselves.
I feel like we're just watching the same game that we did like just hours ago, right? Like literally the same scenario happened. Ursa tries to go for that. Tormy alone doesn't get it. Tormentor did get changed a little bit, right? Like it got buffed. I think it's... I'm not sure if it was a buff or not, but it's definitely keeping these Ursas away from soloing it. DP.
DP is in trouble, doesn't have BKB. There's no way out of this one. You're dead for sure, my friend. We'll at least try to make them waste as much time as possible, but eventually the devil will have his due. PP taken off the map, and a surprising amount of gold given away for that kill.
Yeah, a lot. He's big, by the way. He's second on the net worth charts. Like, he's been on top for the longest time. Old 11, of course, now taking over this absolutely massive Enigma.
Young Reflection popped down bottom after they got the dust out onto the next assassin. Man, they've just been trying to make Horror's life as difficult as possible. Yes, it's come at the cost of Oli ever having net worth in this game, but it's just kept the Knicks from doing anything impactful, so hashtag worth for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Knicks could have completely opened up the map for Curtain Gaming, but it still feels like he's doing it. It still feels like he's detached from his team, right? Like he's trying to make things happen, but there's no real follow-up. Like, it's interesting how they itemize. Like, you have this Darkseer with Greaves and Shard, but still doesn't feel like he can really help the Knicks.
Knicks at the very least is keeping a close eye on where this Enigma is at. I don't think his team can do anything off the back of this one, though.
Maybe they're
coming down, but they have this observer ward. That ward is scouting the entire move. They know what's happening. They're just gonna try and go. He interrupts the twin gate move. Old 11 does have BKB. Will he use it? He's forced to. BKB, twin gate. He should be fine.
I'm surprised he didn't BKB black hole them. Considering it is old 11 after all, but yeah, he does survive, and that's the important part.
Good old 11. Blink Dagger now up for the Darkseer as well. So we have the triple blink for the side of Curtain Gaming. However, we also have a very impactful Blink Dagger coming from the other side. Rubik Blink Dagger. Blink Yules on Rubik, minute 24. It's pretty decent return.
Yeah, the Yules is just what really makes this hero work in this game. Not in general, maybe not the Rubik item, even though it's really good on him. This game, it's even better. You're playing into Ursa, you're playing into all this control that they have on the other side, so it's really good.
You know, you were saying that you're having some deja vu of the previous game. Well, in the previous game, we also had a Terrorblade push prior to having access to an Aegis. But this time around, somebody on the team was like, guys, what are we doing? Like, look where we are. Let's just wait, get an Aegis, we'll be okay.
Yeah, it seems that way as well. Like, meta is running out. Only quarter of the duration left.
Goes out onto Ursa with Emo coming in with the Rolling Thunder. Global Silence dropped down as well. Will they have enough to get through him? Of course they do. Unfortunately for Summer, he will not be allowed to survive this one. And there we see exactly why this Yules is so good against the bear.
Yeah, probably the best support item into the Ursa for sure. And he is really suffering. Like, he's bottom of the network now, even below the Pango, who basically had no game, no lane. Yeah, Ursa, at least before dying, he did buy out. He has the BKB now. So the next fight is possible around the pit.
Oh, there's that Yules again. Hi there, boss. What can you do? Emo on a killing spree now. Thankfully for Curtain Gaming, Roshan is sleeping in a little bit, taking some beauty naps 2 minutes before the big man returns. But that doesn't mean that you can't still lose additional map control in that time period.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what can they actually do in these fights. Like, they're getting an Aghanims on Darkseer. Greaves, Aghanims Shard is the build. How impactful will he be, and will he be able to actually just run in and whack someone, you know, with his normal punch? Not a lot of control on the other side, I guess.
Caught in by the Rubik right now. They used them, they dusted him, and with the Midnight Pulse, they will kill him. I think what might also help right now is that they did get a Shiva's Guard out on this this Death Prophet. And that's going to help them a little bit in terms of their issues with keeping these heroes close. Because their lockdown, it's, you know, we've seen the Nyx and the Shadow Shaman do their best, but there's too much counterplay options from Yakult's brothers. At least with the Shivas, there's something that doesn't rely on spell casting either. So you can use it during the global silence as well.
Yeah, and it's really hard to kill her now, right? Because of that Shiva. She gets a lot of armor. The item, yeah, it might not be in its best ever state. The recipe is really damn expensive, but it's still a must-buy on DP 90% of the games.
They smoke up as Curtain Gaming. What are they going to try and do here? They want to try and find something before the Roshan fight commences. Very nice wards yet again planted out by Baboka. And he'll blink away after breaking the smoke onto Hara.
Yeah,
now we are at that make or break moment.
This should be good for them, right? Like, they can just pop Exo and go into the pit. And now they're basically asking Yakult, do you feel strong enough to fight into the Exo?
Wow. Okay, please blow up Hara, but he's given his life for a good cause, making sure that the Aegis goes the way of the Ursa Bear. And they managed to get out safely as well. Yeah, it does cost them 2 ultimates in the life of a Nyx Assassin, but given the game state, absolutely well worth it. Can you just imagine having to deal with a Terrorblade Aegis right now?
It would be rough. And they got the banner, by the way. They forgot it. They didn't pick it up fast enough, but they sent a courier in. Insta smoke up on the other side. Of course, they have Black Hole, they have Global. They can basically take the upcoming fight head on. However, though, like, all these big ults are really not great into the Aegis, so...
Fortunately for them, Curtain Gaming have also expended most of their ultimates as well. Never mind, he actually blinked forward, but immediately gets rushed on by Emo. Global Silence will be there, as well as the right clicks from this Terrorblade. We have lost the Darkseer, now we've lost the Nyx too. Mega kill streak for Emo. And Darkseer does have buyback, but Nyx Assassin will not have that available. So how will they defend this? Because I don't think Yakult's brothers want to leave. They want to use this meta to at least get a melee Rax.
Yeah, that was such a cheap kill that they got on both the Darkseer and the Nyx. Just a Rubik initiation, right? And that's it. It's really hard to defend without those two.
They will now also be suffering damage onto the tier 3 tower top. Tier 3 is gone. 7 seconds left before the Nyx Assassin is back. Yule Scepter onto the Ursa. Now he gets shackled as well. Look at him taking damage, and there goes the Aegis. TP did his best to zone them back with the Shivas. Old 11 pops the BKB by mistake. Definitely doesn't want to stick around here. BKB gets cancelled. The Hex! It finds him long range. At the same time, Hara gets an initiation onto Baboka. Can they kill the Old 11? Old 11 managing to blink away, using the Mud Golem to find the stun and buy him time. In the meantime, Baboka was able to convince both supports to chase him instead. So he ends up dead, but it buys enough space for Old 11 to leave to safety.
I feel like that could have been punished even harder, but nice disengage from Yakult's bros. I think what the BKB on Old 11 wasn't necessarily a mistake per se. I think what he wanted to do is pop the BKB and just go black hole the Ursa as he's respawning. I think that was the idea, but the rest of the team probably was not on the same page, and then they just said to go back instead. Because they, again, a very cheap pick-off on the Ursa. All they used was shackles on Rubik, right? So.
Oh, they are now sitting with the full lane of Rax taken away. At least they did hold high ground on the top lane. But now it becomes even more imperative that they find a good fight next. And there's no Aegis to give them that easy avenue of initiation. These next 5 minutes are going to be crucial. We do have some fighting items. We do have now the full Basher available on the Ursa. What else is he getting? Yeah, he's got the Basher flying in at the moment. So he has that to his name. And the DP almost has a BKB of her own. So the next engagement they take will definitely feel like they are a lot safer on the DP and they have some offensive prowess on the Ursa. The problem is, Yakult's brothers are coming right now. You don't have time to get yourself fully in position.
Yeah, you gotta move fast. TP on Nevermind, I suppose. Yeah, it's up. He's got full Aghanims if he wants to buy out.
My goodness, they've already lost the melee barracks. Melee gone, range taken away as well, and so far, no counterplay coming in from Curtain Gaming. What will they do here? Can't just let them take this for free, but that's exactly what they've done, Lizard. They take your buildings, they force you back into the base, and then they just walk away.
They'll smoke. I feel like they'll smoke going out of the base. Maybe out push one more wave. Smoke behind the Ursa, yeah, exactly. And I also think this isn't really like the best smoke. Not only because of the wards. I feel like they just smoked up out of desperation. You know, it's like one of those moves. They could still take a decent fight, I guess, but it's gonna be hard.
Baboka breaks the smoke. There's also vision that they left behind them, so they see them. And now Curtain Gaming, they know that they know. That's a little bit unfortunate there. I guess they wanted to very badly reveal the BKB on the Death Prophet, but not gonna happen right now.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Tier 2 still standing. Is the next objective, of course, for Yakult Bros. I still feel like, I know they're in a rough spot, 10k behind, but I still feel that the next fight could possibly go Curtain's way if they play everything right.
Let's see here. They get the initiation out onto Baboka first. Baboka not gonna die because he has a Yule Scepter. And now a black hole onto 3 heroes. Ursa, Nyx, and the Death Prophet. All 3 of them have no options for movement. All 3 of them dead in a heartbeat. Nevermind, as well as the Shadow Shaman, gonna do their best, but both of them, their lives are also forfeit. Baboka, the man who set this all up, he has the long-range shackles onto Nevermind, kills him off, and as they get team-wiped, Curtain Gaming throw in the towel. GG, well played is called. Yakult's brothers win game 1.
I tried typing them up, I tried finding the silver lining, but it just wasn't
Enough though to earn them that game 3 berth, or if Yakult's brothers will still figure out a way around it. I will say, like, 3 heroes, TA is, you know, very short range. You have the other 2 cores are melee against this Huskar. This is going to be a tough one. Like, if Yakult's brothers win this one, then it's like, okay, guys, we definitively are just a better team, and there's nothing you could have done otherwise.
Yeah, basically. I feel like everyone feels that way when they win against Huskar, right? Like, if you win against that hero, there's just like, I don't know, you feel vindicated. Or you just feel... You feel much better winning against Huskar than winning against most heroes. Winning against Huskar, Tinker, Meeple, Brood, it's a special feeling, you know? You just want to prove that you're, in general, better.
It's those kind of wins that, like, you know when you say one more game for the night, and then that last game has the Huskar, and at first you're bleak, but then you win, you're like, yeah, that's a great feeling. I can actually go to bed on time. I don't have to stay up playing until 3 a.m. to get that W.
Let's see how it pans out. Like, I have seen different teams approach the lane differently. Different players, I should say, approach the lane differently. And I have seen teams dual lane mid as well sometimes into the Huskar. Like, if you're having a really bad matchup, you just put 2 heroes there, a support plus mid. Make sure that he doesn't have a good game. Look at this smoke, by the way. Yeah? There you go. This is an answer, right? Like, instant gank on him. He's got a very good block, though.
Yeah, his block is immaculate. He stood right on top of the high ground to make sure that this block was perfect. He's still in a deadly position, though. Let's see, will he get Sleptwalk forward? No, he will be slept forward. Will they have the damage to kill him? Baboka is there as well. They throw out the blood grenade. It's inside the Sprout. Aether Remnant will be there. And they are going to be able to find this kill. It goes the way of Emo, no less, on this Void Spirit. Nice little gank attempt by Yakult. Was a bit risky, but it paid off in the end.
Yeah, Baboka is actually staying mid to help and deny the creeps. He's just gonna dual lane him. Like, this is what I mentioned a bit earlier. Bristleback can solo more or less, so this dual lane is actually possible.
Oh no. Remember there was an era of time where you often have dual or tri lanes middle? The kind of situations that led to Sumail quitting mid for a while? Well, yeah. PP is not happy at the moment.
Yeah, the IO +1, the Lich +1 mid lane. Yeah. Good times, good times. 2018, 17. I mean, they're actually relentless. Like, they might go for him again. Baboka
he's actually in a lot of trouble.
Overdoing it.
Baboka taking a lot of damage from the flyer. He's going to end up dead, but it's worth it because PP gets the cleanup right afterwards. So you get the Void Spirit, the full experience. You still get a kill on the Huskar. And Huskar, remember, he died earlier. So he has to walk back to this lane. He can't TP in.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold 11 bot lane, though. He's the one that should be struggling off of that. He does die.
Yeah. He dies, but at the same time, they also got themselves a kill on the other side of the map onto the Rubik. So Yakult's brothers, yeah, they end up losing this Bristleback. It's kind of tough, but like you said, he's playing all alone. So it's a kind of sacrifice you can afford to make with the way the game is unfolding.
No, absolutely. And I feel like it's one of those things that Old 11 should be fine with. Like, yeah, sure. I'm dying, but it's really important that Huskar does not have a game, so it's worth it. Plus, it's a Bristleback, right? Like, it's like leaving a Timber. He should be fine on paper.
Also, Old 11 is from the old school of playing offlane. He raised himself in the Suicide days, where every game was 3 versus 1, so he knows how to handle this kind of adversity.
Yeah, absolutely. He's already got Bracer, 7 last hits versus the 11 on Pango. I mean, he's doing all right. He's doing as fine as Pango is, and he's been left alone, so, yeah.
For me, the big difference, look at the CS middle, almost being tripled up on the Huskar. I don't think I've ever seen like a Huskar be in this position and then win the game. Oh my goodness, they're going to go on him again. Here comes Baboka. They missed the Aether Remnant though. I don't know if it'll be necessary. Dissimulate comes forward with the additional damage. PP doing his best to try and run himself away. Emo, his spell's coming back off cooldown. There's some assistance coming in from the Ancient Apparition, but the help will come too late. They end up losing PP once more, and perhaps we have him sacrificing his life here with the Ancient Apparition. Fortunately for him, the creeps haven't cleaned up around middle, so nothing to take away the tower aggro. AA lives, Huskar though dies for the 3rd time in this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised this TP didn't come a bit earlier. Maybe it was on cooldown or something, not really sure, but yeah, I feel like you just commit a hero on mid lane. You just commit someone to bodyguard the Huskar, and that's it.
Oh no. Well, he was supposed to be the bodyguard, but all he's gonna do is be food for the side of Yakult's brothers. Emo is on a killing spree, Lizard. 4 minutes into the game, he's 3-0-1.
Yep. They did deny the runes from him, so Emo will not be getting a recharge, at least on the bottle.
Oh, top lane. Hara's in trouble again. Here comes Baboka. Baboka, relax, brother. It's only a video game. Another kill onto Hara. They're chasing down Nevermind. He has shield crash, but he doesn't have access to the swashbuckle. Does have the point, though, that he's holding on to. There's going to be the double shield crash forward onto Ollie. We'll get Nightmare, a Sprout in front of him. Fly gonna put in some damage. Actually, he might just straight up die here. He does finally level up the swashbuckle, but it's too late, Liz. He's gone.
Yeah, nice body blocks from Baboka. Very nicely done. I feel like the Nightmare plus Sprout was, yeah, not played to perfection, but it was good enough. And, you know, like this Bane with the Sleepwalker facet is good on his own, but with TA it's even better. Like, you get them to move into Melt.
Speaking of Melt, a shot comes out onto Nevermind as he makes himself available top once more. But Boka's in a little bit of a right-click war with Hara. He will get himself clipped, and that should lead to the death. Cold Feet will be there. He'll pop a very big one, but it won't matter in the end. Does end up dead, and that's a nice kill.
Yeah, he double tapped Sprout. I feel like you need to put it on the side if you want to sprout yourself off of the cliff, right? Like you need to put it on the side, so you're not in the middle of it. That's all. Didn't really accomplish much.
Oh, but he's back alive again, going in onto Hara. Ollie got the initial setup, and Boboka will provide the rest of the right-click damage. I think that's what's so unfair about this support Prophet, right? It's still one of the best bodies in the game. Incredible stat gain, really good right-click. So you get the best of both worlds. You can still provide that early damage, enabling the team all across the map.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how tanky he feels with teleport, right? DD is here though.
Okay, they're gonna go in. TP, oh my goodness, eats the first big astral step of the game. He dies for it. But Boka will eventually end up losing his life, but they're gonna make this at the very least a 2-for-1. Ancient Apparition got Sleptwalk in the wrong place. Emo collects his life. Double kill for him. Mega kill streak for the Void Spirit. He's level 6, 501 at the 7-minute mark of the game.
They just made this game a chaos, like, as you should when you're playing into a Huskar. They want to contest the Wisdom Shrine. This is so necessary for Curtains.
Curtains, can they defend this? They do have Hara here with the left. Boboka also making himself relevant here. Hara ends up dying, though, to the Resonant Pulse. Emo on an unstoppable streak. Never mind, realizing that he actually cannot keep this fight going. Forced to swashbuckle to the low ground. But he has to abandon the shrine in the meantime. So both of them going the way of Yakult's brothers. Dude, they're doing this before the tier 1 top even fell.
Yeah, just because they got so much out of the mid lane. Keep in mind, by the way, Bristleback is just below the DK in net worth. Like, even though he's been left alone for the majority of the early minutes. A again.
Yep. Boboka putting in the damage. Ollie's right there. There's the brain sap. And never mind, all of a sudden finding himself in danger. Needs to be very careful about where he goes. He's still not level 6. So if he gets nightmared, could actually end up dead. Boboka right next to him. They do have the Sprout. There's the Nightmare bringing him closer towards Fly. Here come the Meld Strikes, baby. Can Nevermind survive this? Well, at least swashbuckled past the Meld Strike. Fly didn't want to wake him up too early, but this should still lead to the death of this Pangolier. He'll make them work for it, but ultimately his life is forfeit.
Yeah, meanwhile, Huskar, he might be dead again.
No way. Did he just get solo killed by a Void Spirit? He did.
Yeah, he was just farming. He was really low, as you should be as Huskar, farming the jungle, right? And Void Spirit. A lot of burst on this guy.
Well, he's about to burst somebody else because they get the vision onto Hara in the mid lane. The Sprout doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll matter. They miss with the Aether Remnants as well. Not the best execution, but doesn't seem like they'll need it. Astral step forward. Emo finding himself on a monster kill streak. 8-0-1, 9 minutes in, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't a perfect execution because he didn't want to use Astral Step, right? Like, he tried to greed it out a little bit and kill him without committing his ult, but yeah, he did commit it in the end. Nature's Prophet almost 6, Bane almost 6. On the other side, the supports, 2 supports on level 4 that desperately need to get their ultis up. That's when they're activated. Prophet, even without the 6, like, he's doing a lot on the map, right? Like, these two, they really aren't.
This Prophet has just been a bane of their existence, and these supports, they're about to suffer a little bit more. The Wrath of Nature, not even necessary. Emo able to just mop up that Ancient Apparition. He is now getting more damage out. And look at this, Fiend's Grip going out onto the Huskar. Boboka supplying the additional damage. Bro, my mid Huskar is dying to the supports. What is happening?
Yeah, they just absolutely read the way that this Huskar wanted to play. The lane was devastating for the Huskar, and post-laning stage isn't any better.
Get a Nightmare now out onto this DK. They've griefed the Huskar enough. It's time to spread the misery to the other heroes in the enemy team. And Summer didn't manage to get back in time, so he will be forced to TP out. Ollie, bit too far away, didn't have grip either way, so no kill in that position.
I'm surprised no one went for Vessel on their side, but yeah, considering there's Cauterize Facet on Huskar, right? I guess it's understandable. Still though, Dragon Knight won't be bad against him, I guess. It's just because Prophet can build it so easily, right? Like Baboka could go for it. Instead, they doubled up on the Orb of Corrosion, which is also understandable. Really good item for Emo, really good item for the Prophet. On the other side, we're just waiting for their ultis on supports. I feel like this is what might activate them a little bit.
Yep, I mean, we certainly aren't going to be having an effective Huskar for quite some time. He is kind of out of the game at the moment, just trying to finish off his armlet. In the meantime, Emo is able to claim a tier 1 tower middle. He's net worth leader in the game. You know, Void Spirit is one of these like mega snowballing heroes where if he has a start like this, you know, you were talking the other game about how sometimes it can just feel super oppressive. And I think we are about to see one of those games where Void Spirit just completely pops off.
Absolutely, and with this upcoming Invis rule.
Uh-oh. He's under a trap. He's under a trap. PP, they see him. They're gonna jump him. Emo goes for him. Misses with the Aether Remnant. Astral Step, though, in tandem with the Wrath of Nature bouncing around, does provide the necessary punch. And Huskar dies for the 6th time in this game. Mid lane, they found the sleep with the Nightmare Walk out onto this Rubik. So Hara will end up dead. Baboka is like, bro, don't you dare play my hero. Emo grabs another double kill.
Dragon Knight, the only one that feels kinda unkillable right now, even without the TP, like they probably can't go on him. But what can he do actually across the map? Can he actually make a difference? I don't think so, not right now at least. What surprised me is that they didn't give a lane to Ancient, by the way. That's something that really surprised me. They gave it to Rubik mid. I feel like, yeah, sure, Rubik needs it, but the ulti from Ancient might get you a kill.
Well, I bet he wishes he had the ultimate right now. It's getting rushed upon by Emo with their haste rune, but they're going to ignore the Ancient Apparition. They want the easier prey of the DK. Well, no, I say that, but Baboka's like, I'm not ignoring anybody, gang. Everybody can get it. These hands are rated E for all. Or everybody, excuse me. That's bad spelling.
Yeah, this is looking like a possible game already. Like, we are entering a stage of... do we call it, guys? I feel like... there's a Vessel on Pango. He's the one kind of left forgotten on top lane. He's finding some farm. He's getting towards his blink. But yeah, I don't feel that's enough.
This might be the most shut down Huskar I've ever seen. Like, personally, myself in the game.
Oh, you didn't watch that Quinn game? The 0-13 or something on mid lane? They did this.
No, I heard about that one.
Yeah, this is basically the copy-paste of that game. Same thing. Pango.
Dan goes down. Rubik about to follow. Baboka is literally squaring up 1v1 against Huskar. He will die, yes, but it took Huskar everything he had to make that happen, and he still dies in exchange. You know what? I don't care what else happens. Baboka God for MVP. Series MVP. He's just playing out of his mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I hard agree. Like, he was... he's the one that won mid. He's the one that stood there on mid, denied the creeps, and also killed the Huskar a couple of times. And the rotations were min-maxed to the fullest with his teleport. This hero in general right now feels too damn strong. I feel like suiting saplings are good. Like, the facet is really nice, but just the fact that you can TP across the map, control the wisdom shrines as well. It just does a lot.
A man has been everywhere, and he's scaling into damage as well, building himself into an orchid to make sure that he has even more tools to make life miserable for the Huskar. In fact, he has higher net worth than the Huskar right now, Baboka does. Mid lane, we see Hara about to suffer at the hands of Emo once again. This Emo is now beyond godlike. 12:04 at 15 minutes. Okay. Okay, bro.
Right. Aghanims, of course, already done into the BKB next. What's the play here? I don't even know. They do have the A6 now, and he's sending into the pit.
Okay. It's gonna connect. Will they follow this up with anything? Nevermind would have loved to, but look where he's at. He's actually being ran down. He's in danger of dying. He gets silenced right now by Emo. Hit with the Aether Remnants as well, and he is gone. Brought that Nature connects. They hit him with the Fiend's Grip. Secondary Resonant Pulse used to make sure that there is no escape. They got a kill on an offlaner while still taking a roach, while still defending bottomless. And here they're not just defending bottom, they're getting offensive onto the DK, killing him off with Papoka and Fly. Man, what are you supposed to do, Lizard? You're the smart one. Figure it out. Make a plan.
Call GG, I'm not sure. Like, there is really not a lot that you can do. The reason why this rush looked so simple is because of Bane. Just this hero being in the game. Like, if Bane wasn't in the game, you pop that A ulti and you roll in, right? Like, Pango is free to do whatever. But into the Bane, you just cannot. Like, it's too impossible.
Also, officially, Nature's Prophet does have Orchid now. And I do not see a single BKB being available just yet on the Radiant lineup. We have one, I think, on the DK. Once he has it now, okay. So we have one BKB. Ollie, gonna be the first one found. Can they burst them in time? They can. And they steal Brain Sap while they're at it. That's not bad. Old 11, sitting fearlessly in front of them. He's kind of been ignored in this game. Pops his Glimmer Cape, and he is able to get himself out to safety, so he's fine.
Yeah, he's absolutely fine. Chipped Vest, Glimmer Cape, Halberd, can't take him down, but at least they get something, I guess. You know, you got a big kill. You didn't use the BKB on Dragon Knight. You still have this Ancient Apparition with Ice Blasts. I've said this many times. I feel like this hero, like, if you're 10k behind, you're actually 5k behind with an Ancient Apparition. You know, if you can actually connect with Ice Blast and Ice Vortex.
Top. We're going on to Emo here, but man, they just simply lack the lockdown to hold him in position. If the DK was there immediately with the Dragon Tail stun, perhaps, but unfortunately they couldn't make it happen. You know, it's kind of surprising, right? We were talking about the relative lack of lockdown from Yakult, given that they only have Aether Remnants, Sprouts, and Bane spells. But it kind of feels like they have more disables than Curtain Gaming. Curtain Gaming just have not been able to connect flush with all of their stuns at once.
Yeah, they just have too much gold.
Top. Oh my god, Emo! The 2 hero silences out. Can he get either of them down? He brings down Hara with the help of Papoka, and now Papoka shows up with the silence on top of this Pangolier. Nevermind, not even allowed to leave the scene of the crime as he gets added as an additional victim. And while they're busy doing this, the rest of the crew takes out the Huskar. They have the full grip going out onto this Dragon Knight. He's taking so much right-click damage, and he will end up dead.
GG.
Bro, they're killing your crows across the map. It's over. There's nothing you can do. GG, well played is called. Yakult brothers demolish them in 2-0 fashion.
Yeah, it was just a matter of time. I feel like from minute 13 onwards, this game